Joyful Volunteering. And my guest today is, let's see if he got that. There you go. Joyful Volunteering, Making a Difference, with author, and more than that, philanthropist, we'll get into that, Ninon de Vere
De Rosa.
De Rosa. So today's topic is women with causes, Ninon's background, what she's doing, her business. We're going to bring that into because the philanthropy part, the giving back. And we're going to bring up your website just for a minute because you have a program called Kids Talk.
Yes, I do.
So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about you, your program, and then we'll get into joyful volunteering and talk about different causes.
Okay, well, Kids Talk, I started Kids Talk in, actually I wrote it in 1992, a little synopsis of what I felt I wanted to do. And the reason I did that is because I left home at 16, I didn't have an education, I had a different, I would put it as a different upbringing. Which was quite unusual. My family were antique dealers, so I went through a lot of different things. And in '92, I decided I wanted to sort of, give children, the younger generation, this opportunity of what I have gone through and how they don't need money, they don't need education, they really don't need much of anything except a little bit of tenacity. And that's what I wanted to bring out there, just to let them know, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what religion you are, it does not matter. You can make it. Every one of us,
Absolutely.
every one of us has something. Now, one problem is to find that something, because you've got to find that little something. So that's how I started Kids Talk, because I wanted to give them of what I had done, how I had succeeded, and I really succeeded very, very well. I had an incredible career. I had the greatest husband. I mean, everything. I lived in Bel Air. I just had everything. And I started with leaving home at 16 with equivalency of, I think it was like $5.
Wow.
So I know I don't have to read a script, I don't have to do anything. I know that any child out there, male or female, it doesn't matter just because I'm female, doesn't mean say I made it and the pretty face and the whole bit. No, it's all children out there. You can make it, you all have something. That's the message I want to give out there to our younger generation, especially now. Especially now. Because we're going through this crisis of obesity and literacy and kids are graduating from school 16, 18 years old, can't read or write. Is that their fault? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. So that's a little bit why I brought, I started Kids Talk, why I brought it out there. I'm going to brag. Can I brag a little bit?
Absolutely. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
The kids and I have won 102 awards.
Wow.
We got presented by President George Bush, gave us 2 awards actually. And we've gone, we've got the Business Journal Award of Los Angeles, but we've done extremely well. Not all my awards, I really dedicate these awards to the kids because they're the ones that have kind of given their voice out there.
Wow.
Nothing can happen. You always have to have somebody in your role. Nothing happens without somebody else, and I think if we all recognize, that a little bit of trying to involve other people because you cannot do it alone.
Right, and that's the next piece.
This
is the first time I've actually opened your book. Now,
Okay.
something you don't
I thought
know.
you read the whole thing.
No, actually, I'm very intuitive, but it's because I read a lot. That's the next thing. I read 50,000 words a minute, and I teach that process.
Oh,
And so I just got the direction to crack open your book, and I went, this is the fun part of instant read. Is it okay if I...
that's your book.
Okay,
Yeah. What we're doing.
Volunteering. The personal value is not what you give. It's what happens to your heart on the way home.
That's right.
I love it. Mary Jean Eisenhower. V is for victorious feeling when the volunteering is done. O is for optimistic attitudes shared with those you help. L is for love you feel from the person you helped. U is for understanding those you help. N is for needing the help when you can. T is for time well spent. E is for excellence in having a volunteer mindset. E is extreme gratification when the volunteering is done, and R is returning again to volunteer. And that's Christine Redland.
Christine Redland actually came in as a volunteer.
So I'm going to just cover the chapter of your book. I actually take people, I have a program called Instant Read where I take someone through a book in 2 minutes, and we're going to do it with your book. Everyone should have this book.
Yes, I
truly
agree.
believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. We can buy it on my website or anywhere.
Well, we're going to do
Money is all donated to the Kids Talk
We're going to do
Foundation.
some extraordinary things with your book. A moment in time that has changed lives. Who is a volunteer? It could be you. Here, there, and everywhere. Reflection and discovery. Voices of tomorrow. Roots of inspiration. Never too young or too old to start. Pathways to volunteering. Jumpstart. from your left hand to your right hand. Choices create possibilities, where to go and how to get there. Volunteers make the world go round. Giving back, volunteering, a true gift from the heart. I want to hear from your left hand to your right hand. Tell me what that's.
Well, it's funny you should choose that because that's what I wrote. I wrote the whole paragraph. I don't know why you chose that one, but that was one of my.
I'm reading your
yeah, there you go.
yes.
That was one of my chapters. And everybody thinks from your left hand, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
Uh-huh.
Well, I came up with this idea where there was choices. And whatever choice you make is a choice. People always turn around and say, well, I'm not going to make a choice. Well, you actually just made a choice not to make a choice.
Right.
So it's kind of a little backflap there. But mine was of making a choice of what to do. Do you want to go and volunteer or don't you want to volunteer? Do you want to go and help that person over there or not help that person? So it was always something different of your left hand to your right hand, of how you conduct your life and what you choose and how you can give and how you can do both.
Right, that's what I want to hear.
And you can do both.
Yes.
There's plenty of room out there. Now, I was asked to help to do this book, but I was asked to do this because I've done a lot of volunteering. But I never did the volunteering, to be great or to. I just automatically did it.
Right.
If somebody wanted some help, I did it. So that's where I was coming from. And so, what I will say is, anybody wants to do anything in this life, and they always think, well, I can't write a book because it's going to take up all this time. I'll never know how this book came out because it just fitted in. And that's the same as volunteering.
Right.
When you volunteer, it kind of just slides in there.
Right.
There is always time. I know we only have 24 hours a day, and I know with us women all over the world, everywhere, they've got a 24-hour packed gear. They've got things going on. I mean,
even in their sleep.
Even in the I was in my sleep the other night, waking up because I have to do this frizzle roll, this little PSA I have to do. And I kept waking up and thinking, I've got to say this, and I'm thinking, and I'm driving myself nuts. But that's a woman,
That's a woman's way.
But that's a way of cramming everything in. So, and volunteering, and when you look at how you can help somebody else, or even just by talking to them, they have a lot of women call me up just to ask me different questions, and I don't charge them, and I just tell them how to do it, or whatever it is, just to give them that time. And that's like volunteering as well. And it is giving your time for nothing without getting anything back.
Right.
But with volunteering, you always get back. You always get back. And that's giving something that you have out there. You're giving something today. You're giving your audience today. So you're actually volunteering today. You're giving your audience a way of how other people have done things, to serve.
That's right.
And I call it, and I always write in a lot of my little different things, and I think I've written it in here, that I'm out here to serve our children. And I will serve them to I have a third left of my life. And I'm going to serve our children. And I'm going to do anything. You talk about the kids in Vegas, and I just wrote a little tiny thing, and it said that our homeless kids in Vegas live under the streets, under the freeways, in holes, and this is what we call 48%. 48% of children in Vegas are homeless. Hey, let's get a life out there.
But
I hate to be so dramatic,
no,
but I'm shocked.
Yeah, I want to state, we are seeing a massive shift in our economic system. We're seeing blue-collar, white-collar executives going homeless because of our economic system. Our economic system is failing us. We have to go back to why. Because somewhere there's a breakdown in the finances.
There's a breakdown in the system. There's a breakdown in the whole system. You do have time. You can go out there. If you think you don't have time, there's always an hour in a day, or there's always something, and there's always that satisfaction. And if you read the book or get the book, you understand there's so many stories in the book. There's lots of stories of the satisfaction. There's also stories in there of how where you can go to do the volunteer work, and you can do it from home. You can do your old lady's home, anywhere. It's across the board.
And it's just the act of giving opens up.
Well, it makes you
ability to receive.
It also makes you feel so good. I've actually done something for somebody, and I haven't been selfish and kept all that time for myself. And I'm conscious mind, the conscious you.
Yes.
See, it all comes out, and it's all being conscious of what's going on in this world.
So I want to set the new rule. The first rule is Fridays at noon, honor a woman, honor yourself.
Okay.
The new rule is look for ways in your life that you can give back. And every week on Friday at noon, as you honor yourself, look for a way that you can give back. Because in giving back, you are opening yourself to receive.